People are always looking at your rig and you're always rig watching. I'm telling you, if all you did was read the forums, you would think that it's people looking down on other people for doing things a different way. There's the right camper for you, and nobody can tell you what that is. Before we get started today, I want to let you know that I am shooting in an RV park. It is loud here today. Sometimes there's a temptation to edit around it and to do a bunch of takes, and I thought today I would just edit through the noise so you get an idea of what RV life is really like. I know a lot of RV YouTube channels would not record with this level of noise. Sometimes there's highway noise, sometimes there's a truck doing its thing in the parking lot next door, which is the cause of a lot of noise today. We've also had people doing yard work. I'm in the middle of an RV park. I'm bringing it to you live. This is what it's like. Real life isn't like a movie. I've met a lot of people in the wild who didn't know a lot about RV life before they jumped into it. They got excited, they dreamt of it, they went out, they bought the rig, they did it. They didn't necessarily spend a lot of time looking through the forums, watching YouTube, as you might be doing, you know, kind of researching the pros and cons, seeing what the community was like. That's not us. That's not Justin and me. We are not typically dive in first, ask questions later sorts of people. We do our research, we do our homework. We're both nerds and we're both a little anxious. We tend to overthink decisions. So before going into all of this, we did a lot of research. And in this day and age, and without an existing social network that did a lot of RVing, we were on YouTube and we were on the forums. And it's really interesting. Something I wish I sort of understood before I got into this is that there is a huge difference between the online RV forums and the community in person. So if you took the online RV forums completely seriously, which I do not recommend you do, you would think there's some kind of war between people with rival RV types. You would think that the people who are in the really expensive Class A buses look down on everybody with less expensive rigs. You would think that people who are tent camping or using a truck camper look down on everybody that's in, you know, a trailer, a fifth wheel, a C or an A or a B. It's really not the case. I haven't encountered a lot of snobbery as we've gone from campground to campground, and it simply isn't tribal like that. We're rocking a 32-foot Class C, and I have found people who have all sorts of RVs have come up and asked questions or openly admired it, whether because they're curious because it's an experience they haven't had and they want to get filled in with that, or because perhaps maybe they're looking to change to a different RV. Actually, just yesterday, I had a lovely neighbor come up and ask me about how long my rig was, how noisy it was when we drove it down the road, how it handled with steering, because they were dissatisfied with their setup. So people are always looking at your rig and you're always rig watching. You know, I find that to be the case. I'm always looking at, whoa, what's that? What's that? Especially if I've never seen something before. If it's a kind of a rare RV or something that is older or newer or, you know, just unusual. People are always looking at your rig and I'm always looking at other rigs. But it's not in an us versus them. It's not a snooty, snobby way. And I'm telling you, if all you did was read the forums, you would think that it's like that it's people looking down on other people for doing things a different way. And it's simply not like that when you actually get out there in the RVing community in real life. And I wish I'd known that going in. You know, I wouldn't change my decision to get out here, but I think it really would have restored my faith in humanity some, because I think it's so easy to get in this idea that we're all keeping up with the Joneses or people are judging us. And, you know, that divisiveness online, that heated rhetoric that comes out in all different ways, just another manifestation of that, and I have not found that to be the case at all. Just the diversity of rigs and the way that people have been really cool about it and actually kind of unified in our love of camping, outdoors, travel, you know, the RV life. It's been really nice to see, and I wish I'd known that going in. I think it would have made me feel even better about the choice to do this. Yeah, it's been wonderful. I'm having a great time. And I want to tell you that I'm not the only one who believes this, but every rig is beautiful. Yes, the multi-million-dollar buses, you know, one of those big tour buses that are like something out of Hollywood or something that rock stars would use, but also truck campers or older RVs with lots of miles on them. The beauty is not in any one particular setup. There is not a ranked hierarchy. There's not a sense of have or have not out here, not when it comes to what you're rocking as a rig. The beauty is in the diversity of setups. It's honestly so cool to see what people are camping in, to see what they've made work. Like, I am obsessed with how people are camping comfortably in teardrops, especially for full-time or heavy part-time use. I love seeing their indoor-outdoor setup, how they've managed to make the most of their tow vehicle in storage, all that good stuff. On the forums, people really expect us to be us or them, and I actually see that when I'm talking to people who are very new to this, newbies who have maybe a setup that's outside of the norm, that's not too popular. They have almost a defensiveness when you come up and admire it. And I think it's because the forums set up that expectation that it's about keeping up with the Joneses or being flashy or hardcore. Those are like the two paths to coolness, right? The luxe, very expensive, like a Prevost, you know, $1 million, multi-million dollar bus, or the people who are roughing it in the tent, like the hardcore. You know, so there's two paths to coolness for most people. In theory, it's really not like that out here. There is no camper that's objectively better than any other. There's what works for you, your life, your mission, and your goals. There's the right camper for you. And nobody can tell you what that is. And ultimately, that's a lesson about life too, right? You will meet people from all walks of life when you're out here, especially if you're full-time on the road. And you can learn so much if you're open-minded and friendly when you meet these people. Or you can learn very little if you just stick to yourself and your particular habits. I've said it before and I'll say it again. RV life is the best way to travel, but it's still travel at the end of the day. And the other thing I wish I knew going in is that it is as expensive as everyone says it is, but it is so, so worth it. Anyway, it was great talking to you as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.